talk about mentality is everything. You can decide if you want to be a winner. You can decide if you want to be a loser. It is all in the mindset, it's all your choice, it's all under your control. This is what is this doing? This is giving you the power. That's the most important thing here. When you take away your power, it means you're giving it to circumstance. Okay? I'm going to give a really good example. We're just going to get right into it. I thought of this example today. So let's say I'm going on vacation. Okay? Going on vacation, I'm traveling, whatever. It could be traveling for fun or it could be traveling for work. Um, let's even say it's for work, okay? Or even for fun, whatever. We'll say either. And let's say I don't take care of myself on this trip. I don't eat healthy. I'm like kind of like, okay, well, it's vacation. Um, I'm not at home. I'm not in my regular routine. Something is externally different. My circumstances are different. Okay? I'm not gonna eat the same foods. Now I'm not getting enough, maybe as much protein as I was at home, or maybe enough fiber, or maybe I'm not even sleeping as good as I was at home. I'm staying up later or I'm waking up. I'm just not having the same routine. Obviously, you're not gonna have the exact same routine, but like you're almost like giving yourself an exception because of circumstance, outside circumstance. Because there's this happening on the outside. That's why I'm neglecting myself. Okay, it's different if you're like, oh, eat trying different foods or you're just like treating yourself, enjoying your time. That's very different. But if you're neglecting yourself because of outside circumstance on this trip, okay, what is that telling your body? What is that signaling to your body? It's signaling I can treat myself however I want because of this outside circumstance. This is kind of like okay, it's like my get out of jail free card because something else is happening on the external. Now let's translate this to how you're going to treat yourself if something external is changing around you. Like let's say you have a breakup, you have an argument with somebody, or you lost your job, or whatever circumstances have changed. Now, what does this signal to your mind and your body if you've taught yourself from small habits, small patterns in the past that when circumstances are changed, when circumstances are different, I can now treat myself however I want. And I don't have to like take care of myself anymore. Like I don't have to do my regular routine because this external circumstance. So now your self-care and how you treat yourself is now based upon external circumstances. So how strong is that foundation of self-care? And we don't have to say like self-care. We don't have to say, it's not about doing your nails and doing your skincare. It's about just doing things for you that are healthy, whether that literally just means praying, whether that means working out, whether that means not allowing to someone to say mean things to you or not allowing yourself to say mean things to yourself. Okay? These are external circumstances. And are you going to now just let those dictate how or your level of like your bare minimum? If your bare minimum is so shaky that something external can now change it, it's not very strong and you need to strengthen that. This is like, you got to go from the beginning here. Okay. So that's our first point. Have my water because I feel like this might be a long live, but it's a very important one. Okay. It's very important. We're going to get into multiple points. So, okay. The point of you can either choose to be a winner or you can choose to be a loser. You can choose. You have the decision. Do you want to be a winner or do you want to be a loser? Okay. If I ask you that question, you're probably going to say, "Oh, I want to be a winner." Everyone's going to say, "I want to be a winner. I want to be a winner." Why would anyone want to consciously choose to be a loser? Okay? But this is what you need to hear, okay? You're choosing subconsciously to be a loser. If you view every circumstance as like, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to get it. I don't think it's going to work out for me. I don't think I'm going to learn anything from this or this was a waste of time," or if you view everything as a loss, if you view every perceived not win as a failure, then you are a loser, right? What makes someone a winner versus a loser? It's like the sum of all their stuff. So, like, if you lose 10 games, you're a loser. If you win 10 games, you're a winner or whatever. If you win, like, but it really comes down to what is your perception? Who is the one that dictates if you won or lost a game? Okay? It's not like we're in sports, it's our regular life. So who gets to dictate if something was a learning experience, a win, or if it was a loss, it was a failure? You get to determine that. Again, now who are you giving the power to? If you believe now that, yeah, I do get to determine this. I get to determine if I'm growing from this experience or if I'm going to view this as a failure. That gives you all the power. This is exciting stuff. Now you have the power to decide. Do you want to be a loser or do you want to be a winner? It's that simple. You get to decide based on how you view the outcome of something. Okay? I was recently talking about this on another live on my TikTok, and I was talking about movies or shows, and sometimes I'll watch a movie or show and I'm like, okay, other people would view this as like there's no learning lesson here or this was a waste of time. Okay? But I feel this is just a mentality. This is the mentality. Okay? Mentality is everything. I feel like if I watch a movie, if I watch a show, if I go to the mall, if I go somewhere and I find nothing, or if I go to a job interview and I get rejected, or if I am in a relationship and it fails, or if I'm in a friendship and it fails, I always know and I view everything as I'm going to learn something from this. There's always growth to be found. And I will never, there's going to be two views. There's going to be like all the negatives that came out of this or all the positives that came out of it. And my mindset is always catered towards this positive. I have trained my mind so well that I will always see the positive, no matter what situation it is. It could be the most horrible situation, my house burns down. Okay, that's not happened, but hopefully it doesn't. But either way, it's like this is how you test your the strength of your mindset. Is the more things that are just going quote unquote wrong in your life, are you able to pull out the good things from those things, from those situations, from those events? My voice is a little bit scratchy, so I'm gonna just keep drinking water. But let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you. And I also want to know, I'm very curious about where you guys feel this is a struggle for you. It's very easy to, okay, whatever, we watch a movie, and I recently learned this recently about movies and shows, as I pull something from every show and movie. I can watch the most, like there's no genre that I only watch this genre, or I can only watch this show. I don't like if I watch some random show or random genre, like some things, I just watch everything and I learn something from everything. So I've learned this like it's so simple. Like that's why I'm bringing up this movie and show thing because it's as simple as this random example. And I'm like, wow, I've trained my mind so well that if I can pull the good things that and I can get inspiration from any movie, any genre, any book, any experience, if I can pull inspiration, that's a strong mind. So I want that to be passed on to you guys. So let me know where you find this to be hard. And it can be hard in terms of, okay, I see this, I do this with my daily life, but I find it hard when this happens, when I have a argument with this person, or when it has to do with my family, or when it has to do with my job. Like, what parts of this is the most hard? So I want to know so I can go more into depth with you guys. Um, but once you switch this mindset, it's like a whole different world. Imagine a video game where no matter what you do, you there's a there's a growth or there's a gain in your level. So that means no matter what you're doing, no matter how good you play that game, you're gonna go up. Okay, that doesn't really happen. Okay, so there's just like you win lose in these video games, but in real life, you can just choose to go up. You can just choose to grow from every experience. The negative experiences grow you all the more. You think winning something is going to grow you more than losing something? 100% is not. Okay? It's always going to be, you're going to get the most lessons and you're going to get the most growth and the most transformation from the most negative experiences, from the most negative situations and circumstances. And if you can remain strong with a strong foundation of your values, your base level or your standards, your bare minimum, if you can remain strong within that, that's a one powerful human being. Okay. And I love that. I love it so much. That's why I wanted to make this live, and I could really talk about this forever. So, um, the next point I really want to go into, we'll keep going back to this, is you are wasting so much time, so many years in self doubt and fear. Fear and self doubt, that also has to do with your ability to see everything as a win. If you're so scared of everything, the reason why you're scared is because you're fearing for the future. You are so full of anxiety and fear because you're so worried about the outcome of the future. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen on this test? What's going to happen on this thing in 10 years, 5 years? What's going to happen with me in my job? What's going to happen with me and this person? Okay? Because you're so worried for a failure. You're so worried for the setback. If you view everything, if you change the mind, all it is the mindset. Okay? Mentality is everything. We're going to keep going back to this point. All it is just changing this mindset of no matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be growing from this experience. I'm going to learn something from this experience. And now we're not going to lie to ourselves. Okay? Sometimes you need to fake it till you make it. Maybe it takes like a little bit, it takes some lying. Okay, we're trying to train this into our mind. We're really training our mind into this mentality. Okay? But after a while, this is going to start becoming your new reality. And imagine now walking through life with this mentality that I can only win, I can only grow. Whatever happens to me is meant to happen to me. And I know you guys already know these mindsets. You guys know these are quotes, whatever. But when it fully resonates and when you fully embody this, you are so fearless and you are like a different breed of person. Okay. This is like a different level of life. This is a different level of experience living, not living with this constant agony of fear, just like weighing on your shoulders. Just like dust it off because you can only win. You can only grow. There is no such thing as a loss. Anytime that you have a loss, anytime something dramatically horrible happens, is absolutely a blessing. And you may not see it in the moment, you may not see it a week later, but absolutely everything is a blessing. And it's so hard to think about. And there's the worst things that have happened to me. I am the most grateful for those experiences because I would not be the person that I am today without those experiences. This is the basic mentality of it. Okay. So don't waste any more time and years and energy on fear and self doubt. Okay. Change the mentality. Change how you view the outcome of life. Change how you view winning and losing. Change how you view pain. Pain is not a thing to be feared. Okay? Pain is something to be excited about because now it's like your body's telling you what's wrong. It's like when you have all these symptoms and you're sick and you get a test back and it tells you, okay, you have this bacteria infection, whatever, viral infection. Now you're like, okay, I know. But imagine there was no test. You didn't know what was wrong with you, so you didn't know how to fix it. Right? So when pain shows up, when something is triggering to you, when a wound is now like reopen, this is now shift your mindset. It's like in the moment you're like, oh my gosh, I hate this. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. Let's just like shut it down and like close ourselves off to it. But in that exact moment, you need to change the mentality and view it like, okay, this is the time. Like this is the test. I can see what's wrong, and now I know how to fix it. Now I know what to fix. Now you can be very laser specific when you're journaling, when you're doing coaching, when you're doing therapy. Okay? I'm a health coach, and I see the most growth in my clients when they know exactly what's going on, when they know exactly the problem. And I try to get them there. I ask them deep questions, trying to really like get them uncomfortable because that's how you grow the most is when you get to the root of the problem, the real issue, not the surface level issues. I'm stressed, I'm depressed. I'm lazy. I don't want to do this. I don't have the self-worth, whatever. No, what's the real deep down issue? That's how you find real true growth. Okay. What examples do you have? What examples do I have of which one? Let me know what you meant. The power that can come from pain is like unmatched. You're never going to have this type of growth and this type of power within your life, like power, like a force to do things. This pain can be utilized as fuel to do this, but this fuel is more valuable than any other type of fuel. The fuel that you get from pain and healing and the growth that you get from this experience. This is like this is like how people become great. This is how like the biggest arts are made, the biggest pieces of literature, the biggest like the most highest quality everything. Like it's from this place of darkness that's now transformed into light. When you can work through this and you gain the biggest, deepest lessons from this. Okay? And that's also has to do with your potential. Imagine like how much okay, I hate to like look back and like think about regrets, but how much more would you have done? What would you have done differently in the past? Where would you be now if you didn't have fear and self-doubt? Let's say for the past 5 years. What do you think that you would look like? How do you think you'd be living? What do you think would be different if you didn't have fear and self-doubt? You can imagine like all the different choices you would have made. And you would have been like, yeah, I can do this. Not like, oh no, I'm just gonna stay in my comfort zone because that's too uncomfortable. I'm too scared of this. I don't want to do that, you know? So what do you think would be different? Now ask yourself, okay, now 5 years down the line, what would be different if I didn't have pain and self-doubt stopping me from making decisions that are aligned with my desired reality? So we can't change the past, but we can change our present state so that our desired reality is not some far-fetched thing. It's actually closer to us than we expected. Okay? This is the important concepts. And I know this channel is very niche, and sometimes what I have to say does not apply to everybody, and not everybody is ready for these types of um points. I don't know, words of advice, okay? Uh these concepts, it takes a while to actually embody these. But you have to start somewhere and you have to do the work to get there. You can't just sit and wait for you to be ready. You can't wait and sit for the time to be right. The action that you take creates the readiness. It creates the right time. That's how you get to the right moment. That's how it begins. That's how you get to the right time, is by taking the action, not waiting for that time to come. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, it's not the right time, or I understand that, but okay, on to the next video, or on to the habits that I've been doing. Like only you are going to switch your mentality. Only you are going to change. I can only guide and inspire and maybe spark ideas within you. I cannot change your mind. You have to change your mind. Okay? And what this also comes down to is what I just said, like with the action, like taking the action and not waiting for the right time, creating the right time with the action that you take. Okay. So this comes down to discipline. And discipline comes down to you are now in control of your mind as opposed to your mind is now in control of you. So that means, okay, you're watching this. I'm telling you to write these things down. I'm telling you journal prompts. I'm telling you right now, guys, if you actually do the journal prompts of my videos, I have journal prompts in every video almost. Okay, because I know journaling helps because it's helped me. And I've seen the growth that I've gotten. I've seen the growth my clients have gotten from journaling. So that's why I recommend it. That's why I talk about it in every single video. So if you guys actually just do this in this moment, either you pause the video or you just journal out the prompt right now and you at least write one sentence down, two sentences down. What would my life look like if I moved forward with this new mentality? If I changed my mentality and I viewed everything as a growth and lesson and not as a loss? What would look different? Genuinely, what would the first decision I make be? Try journaling this out. Now, what does this take to journal out? It takes paper, a pen, and it takes discipline. Discipline. You don't wait for motivation. If you wait for motivation, you're going to be waiting for a long time. You have to create the motivation. Okay? Discipline is the vehicle to get to motivation. If I'm not feeling motivated, the first thing I do is I'm like, okay, well, I have this thing to do, so I'm going to do it. Once I'm in there, and once it's like 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes you're really not feeling good, so it takes like an hour. And then you're getting this flow state. Oh my gosh, don't get me started with the flow state. But now the motivation is just going by itself. And now this is where the momentum picks up. And you guys know I love talking about momentum. Building momentum, using that momentum, protecting that momentum. Once you gain momentum, protect it and utilize this to get more and more out of yourself. What else can you do? What else can you change? What other goals can you add on? Okay, use that momentum, whether you're doing it in your business, whether you're doing it with your health, whether you're doing it with your inner growth, your inner work. Okay, maybe you're journaling. Maybe you just did journal today and you haven't journaled for a long time, or you're watching this video and you're like, should I do this? Maybe you did something earlier today and you're like, okay, well, that was enough for my self care, whatever. No, like use that momentum to now just keep going. Okay, you're doing it, keep going. Protect this momentum, this feeling of flow state, this feeling of high vibration, this frequency within you. Okay, protect it, nurture it, and keep it going. So that goes back to discipline. So discipline is being a master of your mind and not having your mind be a master of you. Imagine your thoughts being a master of you. Like, what direction do you think we're going? Okay, you cannot have this. We cannot have this. You do not want to live this life of having the mind be a master over you. There are so many people, okay? There's so many people that are in the wrong places now, wherever they are, dead, in jail, because their mind has more power over them than they have over their mind. Estranged relationships, whatever. It's just like unfortunate events, unfortunate circumstances, and unfortunate results because of their mind having more control over them. You 100% need to learn how to control your emotions, control your mind. Right now, I'm reading The Untethered Soul by Michael Sawyer. So, what's his name? Something. Michael Singer. Okay. And it talks about your mind. Okay. You are not your thoughts. If you're in my community, you already know. We know this. We talk about it a lot. And it talks about how you just to switch how you view your thoughts. Like if you start to view them as, oh, you're just some like random thing that's not me talking. So it's like almost you have a mini person within you. And you can almost meditate upon this and kind of zoom out and view this mini person within you talking. And you can just let it talk and then it'll just start to kind of get tired. If you don't give it any attention, you just let it be heard. If you just listen to it. Like you don't encourage it, but you also don't tell it shh. Okay? You're just letting it talk. it'll start to say, oh, okay, like you've heard me, okay, and it starts to quiet down. And this is this is a really important concept because we talk about this with meditation. When you're meditating and you're focusing on whatever you want to focus on, um, whatever thoughts are coming up, whatever feelings, urges that you have to itch or move or readjust yourself, those start to fade away when you let them be there and you just refocus your attention, refocusing your attention. So I go over this in meditations. I do this mostly on TikTok Live, but when you just go into meditation and you just put one hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach, and you close your eyes, okay? And you go into breathing. And if you don't want to focus on your breath, you can focus on a prayer, you can focus on like a quote, you can focus on a word, a feeling. You can just focus on the feeling of love, okay? And just focus on this overwhelming feeling of love. And you have thoughts coming up, they're distracting you, they're like running rampant in your mind. You're thinking, how long do I have to do this for? What's going to happen? What do I have to make for dinner? When am I going to pick my kids up? Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Just go back to the feeling of love. Okay? I usually do this with the breath, but we're doing it with the feeling of love today. So you're going back to the feeling of love. What does it feel like? You're just going right back to it. You're going to notice that it almost gets so overwhelming that all the worries and all the concerns that you once had are starting to fade away. Any mind messages, any thoughts from the ego that are telling you to do such and such are starting to melt away on its own, on their own. This is some powerful stuff. Now, you may not think this is as powerful as it is because you're like, okay, I melted away my thoughts, or I melted away the urge to itch my arm, or I melted away the urge to stop the meditation. Okay. Now, yeah, that's a good point. That's great. But what is this more important for? Okay, just like when we said we went on vacation and we weren't taking care of ourselves. Okay, that's like a small example, but what is this now a pattern for? It's a pattern for how we take care of ourselves in our real life and how our external circumstances affect how we take care of ourselves. Now, the same thing with this meditation. If you're able to now let these thoughts dissipate, imagine in regular your daily life, if you hold on to this and you know, okay, well, I've done this in my meditation, my little 10-minute, 15-minute meditation in the morning. So now when I know a problem comes up at work or with someone I'm talking to, if I just sit with this and I don't let it go away, I don't push it away, and I don't give it all my attention, I just let it be there, it will start to melt away on its own. It will start to melt away on its own. This gives you the confidence. When you start small, when you start with a 10-minute meditation, 15-minute meditation, now you have this confidence that I can actually do this. It's not as hard in my daily life. Okay? Examples when you turned losses into wins by shifting your mentality. In my own life or in just general? Well, okay. If I've been fired from a job before, and what I view it as is I view it as God telling me like, okay, like you've had enough of this job. Because in those moments I know like it's God dictating my life. And I know that if I did not get fired from this job, I would not have quit. Like, and if it's not meant for me, then I shouldn't be there, right? But if I'm not like willing to quit because I'm like, oh, I don't want to give up, I don't want to give up, even though it's like hard right now, or this is just not adding value to my life. Like sometimes I don't know when to say no, so then I just let God take over, and then I get whatever happens. Like if I got fired from a job, I just know that this is meant to happen. Okay? Relationships ending, meant to happen. Situations and circumstances in your family life, in your friendships, meant to happen. And the worse it is, the better the growth. It's almost just like, let's just say it's like, I don't even know. It's almost like if you can now, okay, let's say you could shoot a basketball into a hoop, like all the way down there, like it's so far away, the furthest end of the court. The hardest shot to shoot, if you get that one in, it's the most rewarding, right? And now it makes everything else easy. If you shoot that basketball in from the hardest part in the court, like the furthest part, the part that's like the most, it's just like so difficult to get in at this exact angle at this far. If you can do it from there, then anywhere else is so easy. Like it doesn't even phase you. So this goes for the same example. If you can pull the learning lesson out of the worst thing that has happened to you, then everything else is going to be a breeze. And you will have this confidence. This is, again, confidence building. This is not a confidence video, but guys, confidence comes from experience. You guys know I like to say confidence comes from like keeping your word, having discipline, amazing. But it also comes from the ability to overcome things, bigger things. If you are training in a harder environment, when you're playing and it's game time and it's in an easier environment, you're gonna do better. You're gonna be like, oh, this is easy because I was training in the rain, in the snow. Okay, because now it's sunny day. This is no problem for me, right? I worked at this job and we were training with a script and stuff. And we trained in a really, really loud room, noisy music playing. Everybody's like screaming, talking. And I was so caught off guard. I was just like, how am I supposed to do any like practicing? Like I can't practice in this type of environment. And then I remember my mentor was just like, if you can't practice here, like no, if you can practice here and if you can do it here in this environment with this circumstances around you, then when you're in the field or when you're doing it this and when it's easy, when it's like game time, there's none of this music, none of this yelling and screaming. It's going to be a piece of cake. It's literally going to be so easy when it comes down to it. When it comes down to the end. If you can train in the worst conditions, okay? Always remember that. So, we're shifting our mentality. We're shifting our mentality no matter what happens. If you can view it as a life lesson, a learning, a growth opportunity, then imagine all the other things that you're going to have to face in life that, like, okay, now you already have this mindset. It's within you, it's integrated within you. The faster you can do this with the past experiences, the faster you're going to go into life, like, without this fear, without self doubt. You're going to do so much more. You're going to see your potential. You have a potential. Even when you get to that potential, you have more potential. There's always more room for growth. Imagine how much you can achieve. Imagine how much you can accomplish. Imagine how much what the level of you can be, the level of peace that you can get to, the level of healing that you can get to. Okay? Let's say you don't have to have the same growth goals as everybody else. Whatever your goals are to be, like, whatever your goals are in life, whatever your desired reality is going to be different from other people. And your potential to get to that desired reality is possible for you. Just just start doing steps towards it. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for when's the perfect time to do it. When am I going to feel ready? When am I going to be ready? Stop waiting for that moment. Like, you can make that moment by acting. When you take action, the readiness comes. When you take action, now it's the right time. You're going to see the pieces start falling into place once you take the action. Again, this goes down to discipline. This comes down to discipline. What is discipline? It's being able to take control of your mind. Your mind's telling you don't do it. Just lay down in your bed again. Just scroll. Okay? Just let's go have a snack. That's what your brain's telling you to do. No, we're not going to do that. Discipline means no matter what my brain is telling me, I'm in control of my mind. I'm in control of my mind. Those thoughts are coming, but I'm just focused on love, like the meditation. I can overcome that. It doesn't matter what my mind's telling me. If you let your mind tell you to sit and scroll all day and it doesn't, let's say it just doesn't stop telling you, it just continues to tell you sit and scroll all day. We're just going to sit and scroll all day. At some point, you have to just be so fed up with this that you take a stand, like take a change, like you make a change, you take action. Okay, take action. That's the most important thing. Everything I say, I'm like, that's the most important thing. Everything is so important. This all ties in. And you guys know, like, I'm a health coach, okay? Health and mindset coaching, wellness coaching. This all comes down to your health. How do you think you're going to make any effort and change in your health if you do not have a good, strong mindset? What's the first thing that happens when you try to get on a health journey? You're going to fail, okay? Like, you're going to fail. You're going to be like, oh, I told myself I was going to work out 1 hour every single day, and it didn't happen. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen now? You think we're just going to give up? We're just going to, okay, throw the towel, like, whatever. We're done. No more growth. Go back to the couch. No. This is the exact moment that we're like, okay, now we can learn something from this. What was hard? Okay, it was hard because I told myself I was going to do it and I made no time for it, so I didn't have any time. Okay, well, now we learned what to do now. We have to carve out some time. That means you have to maybe sacrifice something for an hour. You're not going to do this one thing that you usually do every day. We're not going to do that anymore. These are things that you need to do. You need to learn from the experiences, learn from the mistakes that you made, learn from the losses, the failures. You told yourself you're going to work out every day an hour. You didn't do it. Learn from this. What can you learn from this? So now that next time you do it, you have all this new confidence under your belt. Like, you have all this new tools under your belt of like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to do it this way. Because I know the first time around when I did it this way, it didn't work out that way. So I'm going to do it this way. Okay? I dropped my pen. I've been talking for 36 minutes. Yeah, not Instagram, YouTube Live, I'm able to talk and stay on topic. In TikTok Live, it's more scattered and we talk about many, many topics. But I will be going, I go live on TikTok quite a bit. Okay, so now, what were we just talking about? Okay, so in order to view these painful experiences in life and change your mentality about it, you kind of have to not view it as a personal attack. Okay, something bad happens to you, something negative happens to you. The number one thing in my life that changed the way I view it, that allowed me and gave me the permission to change my mentality around it, was to not take it personally. To view it as this is not a personal attack. Just because this thing happened and it happened just to me, and it happened, like, let's say it didn't happen to anyone else around me, none of my friends, like, just that doesn't mean it's a personal attack on me, doesn't mean I have to take it personally. Let's say this person hit this person, doesn't mean this person now has to internalize this for the rest of their life. It means this person was not in a good state. Like, do you know what type of state you have to be in to now take your anger out and hit somebody else? Whatever the example may be. It always has to do with the other person. Um, Obviously, if there's a common denominator, like everyone in your life is like saying you are a liar, and like, so maybe you have to look in the mirror, okay, and say like, am I a liar? And just be honest with yourself. Again, that's a painful experience, but if you can take that and learn from it, that's all the more power to you, right? Like, you have to understand this is the most exciting thing in life. You have the power. You hold the power. Everything is in your control. I like that. It's like it takes 2 seconds. It's like it's like this little graph of like it hurts, like it really hurts, but then it's like, okay, well, now it's normal. Rather than if you do not accept it, that it's like it's all in your hands, it's all your fault. It's gonna hurt in the beginning, but it's gonna be fine afterwards because you're like, oh, I have all the power. I can change everything. But if you do not realize that and you think, no, it's everybody else's fault and blame, it's not my fault. It's this person's fault and this person's fault. Then you're gonna be in a state of pain, pain. It's not gonna be as painful as this, as the second one, but you're also not gonna feel the relief that that other one had, right? Painful for a second, and then you have this relief, and you're like, okay. That's not very bad. It's not that bad. It's actually very empowering. So, what would you rather? It's the same thing with like processing pain in your life. The Entitled Soul talks about this as well. It's going to be painful in the beginning. Like, it's going to be painful to look the pain in the mirror, to experience, to let that pain bubble up. Like when you have a trigger, that's all the more, again, that's another thing. That's a test that comes in and tells you you have viral infection, fix it. Okay. When you have a trigger that comes up, whatever it may be, let's say it's you have a fear of, I don't know what, spiders. Okay, you have a fear of spiders. Obviously, it gets deeper than this, guys. It's just a surface level example. You have a fear of spiders. Are you gonna spider comes up? You see spider in your room. This is like this is the perfect thing. This is the test telling you you're scared of spiders. Okay, now we know what to work on. Okay, if you're watching a podcast and they're talking about a specific topic and this is like a sensitive topic for you, this is not the time to be like, well, maybe it is. Maybe you're in a really bad time. Like maybe you can't handle this right now. Okay, then go home, go handle it then. Okay, when you're like when you have more time and space. But this is the exact point that you need to help yourself. This sensitive topic. This is how you know what need. This is what you know. This is how you figure out what you need to work on when these sensitive trigger topics come up for us. This is the problem. This is how you know, okay, this is the spot. This is exactly like what hurts. The pressure point. It's like this pressure point. It's like, oh, okay, that's the spot. That hurts a lot. Don't touch there. Why? Do you want to always have this weakness of like, don't touch there? Or do you want to be like, no, I've healed it? Like maybe massaging it out. It hurts in the second, it hurts in the moment, but it'll be fine. Okay? That's the only way to get it out. It's like you have a splinter, you have to pull it out, or else you're just gonna have this growing. It's just gonna be growing. It may not hurt like that big, like that graph. Remember the graph of like the spike of hurt and then it's relief. That's pulling out the splinter. It's really painful. And then it's like, oh, it's gone. Okay? Rather than if I don't pull out the splinter because I'm too scared of this heightened feeling. I'm too scared of this high amount of pain. So I'm just gonna stay with this pain. And chances are it's gonna get worse. So now it's just gonna be progressively higher, but you're not gonna feel that spike of pain. So you have to decide which one do you want? Which mentality do you want to have? Which way of life do you want to live? This is your choice. You can choose. Do you want to be a winner? Do you want to be a loser? I guarantee you, the loser is the one that views it like, oh no, and just goes like that. The winner is going to be like, no, I don't mind. I can exchange a little bit of pain for this delayed happiness, this delayed relief, right? It's like, it's not going to be relief right away. Like you're going to feel the pain right away, but then like, it's going to feel better, right? So this is how we change the mentality. This is how we change our lives. The amount of change you're going to see, the biggest changes in my life have come from these moments. Turning your pain into power. This is the mindset of a winner. People always think a winner means, oh no, I'm confident, everybody loves me, everybody loves me. Like no, that is not the mindset of a winner. Because now if everybody doesn't like you in that room, what's going to happen to your confidence? It's going to go down because you're like, well, I thought everybody loved me. What if they don't? What if you lost your job? What if your relationship went to shit? Like it's just like your internal state cannot be governed from external circumstances. You have to want change. You have to want better for yourself more. Okay, you have to want this end goal more than you want this comfort and this delay of like, I don't want to feel this pain. I don't want to feel this pain. I just want to be comfortable. Like this is such a comfy feeling, right? Your body wants this feeling. It wants to stay there. It wants to stay in comfort. Your body doesn't want to feel unsafe. Your body doesn't want to have you thriving. It's not trying to keep you thriving. It's just trying to keep you safe. Okay? But this desire for your potential, this desire for growth, this desire for change, to be a winner. The winner mentality. This desire needs to be higher. This needs to be stronger than this. It needs to be stronger than this. It cannot be like this. Right? You have to now want this more. How can you want this more? By seeing how much damage this is going to cause. Staying comfortable, staying safe. How much damage is going to cause? Make yourself so like repulsed by this experience, by this way of life, that you're going to be like, I definitely want this way of life. I don't care if it's uncomfortable, I'm going to do it. So you need to create this space in between them. It can't be like this, like every day you're like, oh, well, I could do this, or I could do this, like, and you're just jumping back and forth. No, you need to create this space. Create a bigger gap in between. I was just telling my client one of this analogy. This you can't expect like one, okay, let's say your house is catching on fire. One room is catching on fire. If I just let that room catch on fire and I don't put it out, it's going to catch the next room on fire. And then the next room is going to catch on fire. And then that entire floor is gone on fire. And now it's spreading to the next floor. Am I surprised? I shouldn't be, okay? Now it's basically spread to the entire house. So if I don't put out this fire in the beginning, it's just going to spread. Right? So you have to ask yourself, why am I surprised that my house burned down if I didn't put out the fire in one room? So if something negative happens and you're not able to switch your mentality, not take it personally, you're not able to feel it out, let it go, why are you surprised that your body is building upon all this fear, anxiety, depression, anger, resentment? Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised that you're going into this low state, this downward spiral? The downward spiral is the house catching on fire. Each room is getting the fire. Each room, you're getting lower and lower. How about we stop the fire right at the first room? The first fire, right? You'd do that if it was your house. If this was your house, you would do it. If you saw a fire catching, if you saw the microwave catch on fire or the stove or whatever, you'd put it out there because you'd know if you don't put it out, it's going to spread. So why are you not doing that same action and taking that same course with your mentality, okay, in your own life, with any negative experience that happens, with any negative feeling? If you know a negative feeling leads to this bad habit, and that leads to this feeling, and that leads to this, then why are you not stopping it from the beginning? The mindset of a winner, they know. They've been here before. And they're able to grow from it. They know the house will burn down. So they're able to use this experience to now grow them in the future. So now next time the little microwave catches on fire, they know, put it out. They know when they have this like negative thought, this negative trigger, they know, okay, well, before this escalates and builds, let's journal this out. Let's just feel it out. Let's just close our eyes and just be like, be with it. Guys, I'm going to give you guys like the most important life-changing thing in this entire video is when you have a trigger come up and when you have like this negative feeling, when there's something that you just don't want to face, there's something you do not want to feel. When that is the case, sit with that emotion and just say, it's okay for you to be here. Okay? Don't let this go over your head. This is transformational stuff right here. It's okay for you to be here. Just let it be. Let it be with you. Let it sit with you. It's so life-changing. Okay? I've done it in my own life. I've seen the results. I want to share it with you guys because it really makes a difference. It's okay for you to be here. That means you're allowing it to be here. You're not pushing it out. Okay? You're not inviting it in. You're not letting it, like, stay forever. You're just saying it's okay for you to be here. And you're just letting it have a space. You're letting it run its course. And if you want to journal about it, if you want to cry, if you want to roll out your muscles, stretch, whatever you need to do to just like release this feeling, do that. But just allow it to be there. You will see that it will it will melt away on its own. It will melt away on its own. You do not have to ever force something away. It will melt away on its own if you just let things be. Okay, this is what is this? There was the number one thing that this does. It's literally takes the power away from this thing. If there's a bully and they're screaming insults at you and you give it no attention, this bully's gonna get bored. He's gonna be like, well, this is no fun anymore because there's no reaction. If you give these thoughts, these feelings, no reaction, they're going to melt away on their own. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, it's kind of boring. Okay, this is just the beauty of life. It's so much more simple than people want to believe. Okay, so being a winner is a mindset. This is the mindset of a winner. This is the mindset of a healthy individual. A healthy mind, healthy body, and a healthy soul. This is what health is. Ultimate health. Okay? And I know this is a niche concept. I know it. Because people want to label health as like, okay, what do you eat, your physical activity. And if I made my YouTube channel all around just physical activity and eating, I wouldn't be giving you guys the full scope of health. I would be doing a disservice to myself and I would be doing a disservice to you guys. Because health is multidimensional. I will not niche down my content. Health is everything. Every aspect goes into health. Okay, so this is your mental, your emotional health. Processing all this will help your physical health. You will see your weight change. You will see your face change. You will see your hair is now able to grow. You'll see your muscles don't feel as sore. This is your physical body and is affected by your emotional health. Okay, so this has to do with health. It doesn't, how you lose weight is not just what you eat and your physical activity, it's your emotions, emotional states. It's like, we're not only talking about losing weight, we're not talking about gaining weight, we're just talking about in general, your health, your body, your being is influenced by your mental and emotional health. So this is why I very strongly am always stressing about, not stressing, but emphasizing health in all aspects and your mindset. Mindset is everything, guys. Mentality is everything. Your mentality towards your life, your circumstances, your every aspect, okay? Your mentality, how you view the circumstances, how you view what happens to you, how you handle what happens to you, how you deal with it, what you do now is all in your power. It will change the result. Okay? So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a really good one. I feel like there's a lot of points in there. Really try to use the tips that I've given you guys. Write this out. Try the meditation. Do the journaling. Absolutely do it. And see the growth. Even comment, like, if you guys have done it, I want to know. Like, I want to see you guys trying these out, trying the journaling. Just comment that you did the journaling or that you did the meditation and how you felt. You don't have to say how you felt, just at least say that you did it. Okay? So